And now I give the floor to the distinguished representative of the Russian Federation.
Distinguished Mr. President, I would also like to begin by expressing condolences on the occasion of the passing of Gail Ferdinand, your colleague, and echo the voices of solidarity with the Kingdom of Tonga and hopes that the international community will become involved in helping that country. Today, we wish to welcome your efforts and highly commend your contribution to the work of the United Nations and post-pandemic recovery. These things are inextricably linked. We also greatly support your intention to strengthen intergovernmental and bolster intergovernmental discussions, as well as solutions. We are convinced that the organization needs a more unifying agenda, and you are making many efforts in that direction. In that regard, we welcome your intention to convene a consideration of our common agenda. To date, we are seeing a situation where I am also forced to draw everyone's attention to administrative aspects of our work. Today, we are seeing a large number of UN staff working with great dedication despite difficult conditions. On behalf of our delegation, I express our deepest gratitude to those staff. We regret to acknowledge that there are also staff members who are abusing the current situation, continuing to attend restaurants, shops, but yet considering that it is not mandatory to show up at work, and that is not important, not essential. We believe that this situation needs to be addressed in great detail by all member states so as to understand how to proceed forward and how the UN will be playing its role in post-pandemic recovery and addressing a huge number of tasks which we have heard so much about today. We also must note that in January, we're seeing a situation where 2 intergovernmental meetings were not held. We understand that there are major COVID-19 related problems. This exists in our country and in any country. But the problem currently is to how to take decisions. What do we do? We join those delegations who have drawn particular attention to the fact that the UN needs to resume its normal functioning, especially since local authorities are not introducing new lockdowns or restrictions, not closing down businesses, and that delegates themselves are vaccinated. And we hope that the staff are as well. In connection with the challenges that we've encountered, and in order to avoid the repetition of such scenarios in February, we ask you, distinguished Mr. President, to convene as soon as possible a briefing on the continuity of work of this organization, on business continuity. We would like to discuss in detail the logic that the Secretariat follows and will follow going forward in order to ensure delegations' work. We understand that the statistics, the numbers are changing daily, but we also understand that there are important functions that are simply essential, that they can't be avoided. Today, one of the committees was unable to hold a meeting, and tomorrow, the UN will not be able to help resolve the conflict, nor help countries experiencing crises. So we would be very grateful if our request would be considered. Of course, there's preparation required for such a briefing. We recall the practice of last year. I hope that none of my colleagues will have any objections to this. And once again, I would like to express our gratitude to you personally for your efforts in support of the role of the United Nations and the resumption of the UN's normal functions. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for the good interpretation, and for interpreters' willingness to work 3 hours instead of 2. Thank you.
I thank the distinguished representative of the Russian Federation